Hello, cool cats and kittens. How are you guys doing today? So this is, I think, episode 2 of our quarantine series for now. As always, joined by the hostess with the mostesses, Sarah Bennett and CJ McCree from Milwaukee. What is up, you guys? How are you guys holding up since we last saw each other? Anything?
Hey. What's up, peeps?
Sarah, anything? Anyone?
Yeah.
Nothing? Same? Alrighty, so...
Same old, same old.
Same old, same old? Okay, cool. I'm rewatching Community, so right now that's why I'm going to cool. I'm on season 3, and it went live, I think, on Friday. So, yeah, alright. So we're going to start with the top 5 movie villains that we have. This was CJ's idea. So, CJ, would you like to start us off with your... We're going to go... So we're going to go from our... Mine aren't ranked, so I'm just going to go with what I have from the bottom to the top. Alright?
Alright, so top 5 movie villains. This is a subject that's near and dear to my heart. As you can see, I'm wearing a freaking villains shirt here. That is the Reverse Flash, one of my favorite villains, actually. Comic book villains. But that's not what our list is about. It's about movie villains. And I'm quite certain if this character was in a movie, he would not be in this list because I have no faith in the Flash movie. But what? I will start here with, I'm a huge villain fan. I know Renee knows this. A movie that's like not awesome can be saved, in my opinion, if it has an awesome villain. Like I would love a lame movie with an awesome villain in it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter. Like it'll completely save it. I love villains. Anyways, let me just enough babbling. My number 5. My number 5 top villain. This is not necessarily. It's a bit of a subtle villain. All right. And also the way I did my list, it's my villain is from a specific movie, because a lot of my villains are in multiple movies, or in multiple movies in their franchises. So my number 5 is a corporation. It's called the Weyland-Yutani Corporation.
And what is that? What is that?
Yes. That is, as Sarah did get it, as those of you in the know, those of you not, you will know, Weyland-Yutani Corporation, they are the shadowy corporation that's basically behind sending these weird, sketchy salvage operations out to locations that are curiously next to alien breeding grounds because... basically, they're the shadow corporation behind all the Alien movies, and now the what's that? What was the prequel?
Prometheus.
Prometheus, yes, Alien movies. And my choice for movie that they're the villain of is the second Alien film. That's Aliens, by James Cameron. And the reason I chose that is because they're shown to be there. It's kind of like a twist that they're the villain in part 1 or throughout the movies. It's like this kind of known twist. Like we all know that who's behind it, but it's kind of like it's like a twist that pops up for the main characters usually. But it's like their goal is always to capture the xenomorph. To capture a live one so they can experiment on it or whatever. It's a perfect
weaponize it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Whatever science dudes want to do with some kind of life form, that's what they're trying to do.
Was that really their goal? I never knew that. I never knew that's what they were doing. I just know it was the aliens attacking the humans. Was that really their goal the whole time?
Yeah.
They keep sending them out to these sites where they've discovered them.
That makes...
Yeah,
and now I went to film school. All right.
Yeah. And it's always like a surprise. Like they never tell them that there's like aliens there. You know what I mean? There's always just like, oh hey, you're going on a mining trip, or hey, you're going to like salvage this ship, or this ship is a distress signal or something. You know what I mean? Like, but the reason I chose Aliens too, because in Alien 1, they discover that ship and they're you find out that the android on the ship has kind of been orchestrating things to make this fail catastrophically, so that they can so that they can, capture the alien and bring it back to the corporation. But Alien 2, Aliens, shows the depths that they're willing to stoop to
Mm-hmm.
to see their mission through. Because Alien 1, it's like they failed, and Ripley, famously, famous heroine of the Alien franchise, she makes it out alive. But then when 2 starts, you see that, people don't believe her story. People think they're kind of skeptical of her, but they still want to send her on this mission because she's the one with the most knowledge of what happened before. You know what I mean? But in Paul Reiser, star of Mad About You, is like is the representative of the corporation in part 2, and you see that he not an android. He, a human, is like trying to orchestrate trying to sabotage the mission, and with Ripley being the only witness from the first one, it's like they're trying to get rid of her, cover their tracks, and capture the alien. So it's kind of like their despicableness goes to like a deeper level. You know what I mean? And so like that's why I chose Aliens, and that's why I chose the Weyland-Yutani Corporation for their whatever.
Sarah, thoughts on CJ's pick, and then we'll go to your fifth pick.
Yeah, so I think once we get further in my list, we might find that me and CJ have some things in common. But yeah, I definitely agree. I went. We'll go to my number when our lists coincide later. But I definitely agree that there's some definite villains in the Alien series.
All right. Yeah. No. I've only seen the 2, 1 and 2. I haven't seen. Everyone's told me to avoid 3, avoid 4. So I haven't seen them, but because everyone like don't watch it enough.
Fun. 4 they bring back Ripley because I don't think I'm ruining it for anyone. But she dies and
yeah. Isn't she a clone? Like, isn't that what like
they clone her with the alien, so she's like half alien. It's fun. Like, it's not a good movie, but it's fun.
All right, let me ask you this.
I completely agree with what she says. Yes.
I
honestly feel like 4 is the worst Alien movie, but like I like it more than other Alien movies though. Like,
all right, let me ask you this. Is it the Spider-Man 3 of the Alien franchise?
No way.
No.
It's more like the
Like,
Super Mario Brothers of the Alien franchise.
Yeah. I actually don't like the third one the most because it's too, like, meta. Like, a lot of it's, like, a mental, like, let's discover ourselves, like, very slow, like...
Isn't that a David
Fincher? Not
Fincher?
an action movie.
Wasn't that David Fincher's first movie?
I don't know.
I know it's one of... I think, yeah. All right, cool. All right, cool. So, Sarah, your number 5 villain.
My number 5 pick. I'm going from a different sci-fi universe, and I said the Terminator. Because I love him.
So let's clarify which Terminator. The T-800.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger one.
Okay, cool.
I do like the melty one, but the Arnold one is just, it's so classic. He has some of the best film lines. I like when they show things from his point of view, like his robot point of view. And he's just such a force of nature, I think. And then I actually like his reincarnations in the later movies, too, because sometimes I like villains that aren't all bad. Like, I think, like you're suspicious of them because you can never prove that they're good, but, like, they change him in a way that makes it okay. Like you're like, oh my god, is he really good? But, like, he's evil and he has all this power and, yeah.
No, that's a great choice. I forgot because I was just looking at my DVDs. I'm like, oh yeah, I have to. I forgot. It's weird to me to think of the Terminator as a villain because every other outing he's had since that movie, he's been a hero. So it's hard for me to think of him as a villain. But the Terminator's a great choice. No, it really is a good one. It's a great one. But I think the T-1000 is better than him because he was just so equally relentless, and then he was just. What was that line in they're calling his foster parents. And he goes, "What is your?" He goes, "Your parents are dead," or what? Yeah, CJ.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I completely agree. The Terminator is well, the Terminator is on my what do you call that list? Yeah, whatever honorable mentions.
Right.
Because he's such a perfect villain and the perfect idea of what I feel like for a villain. And like you said, Sarah, our list is going to match up. Well, we'll get to that.
Did you guys like conference before this happened at all, or just serendipity?
No.
Great minds.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you. I'm just kidding. All right.
Renee, what's your number 5?
So my number 5 is, this is not a sci-fi movie. This is from a Coen Brothers movie, actually, and it is Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men, the main bad guy. And I picked him because first of all, like, what could I pick from these great villains? And so it was just him, his menacing. I guess he's kind of a Terminator in real life, if that makes any sense. And then that one scene where he's at the gas station and he comes up with that little bullet thing and he goes, "Call it amigo." And he goes like, you die or you live. I'm like, and he was just so relentless. That's why I chose him, because it was just so menacing, he was just so real. It was really scary that someone was just that. And if I remember correctly, I haven't seen it in a while. I have the DVD. I should watch it. But wasn't he like a hired killer? Or was there a reason he was hunting them down?
I'm pretty sure he was a hitman.
Yeah. That's right. But yeah, no, but that's who I have. That's my number 5 for now.
Yeah, he has the best weapon. I think that really makes him for me.
Yeah, that was just what the frack is that? Holy shit!
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's why I picked him. Because it was between him and I think the Joker might be a honorable legend, but I'm like, nah, this is more real. Like, this is more fun for me for some reason than the Joker. He's my honorable mention. All right.
Yeah, he was on my honorable mention list. From No Country from Old Men. I did. That's one thing I really love in a villain is someone that you can fear. You know what I mean? Someone that strikes fear into you for the main character. You know what I mean? And that's something. So let me let that lead me into number 4, which isn't the best example of that, what I just said on this list, but he deserves this list in nonetheless. So I'm hopping genres now. And this character, this isn't his only movie, and he's not the villain of this movie, but he is a villain in this movie. He gives a great performance in anything that he's in. He's a character that people love and know. He's from a horror movie, and this character is Sir Anthony Hopkins as Hannibal Lecter. And this movie is in Silence of the Lambs. Excellent performance. Excellent. Here's a portrait of a character who is a villain, who's not the villain of this movie, but is like, he connects so like emotionally and intellectually with not only the audience but the main character in the film. To the point where he's very subversive. You don't really notice his villainy, and that's like what's so scary about him, because it's like he's just this intelligent, like well-mannered guy who is really just underneath it all, just planning the whole time. You know what I mean? Like, and yes, he's helping the good guy, but he's also got his own agenda, and he shows himself, what makes a villain, a guy who shows himself to be a threat, to other characters in the movie, and he shows himself to be a threat. He breaks out of the jail, and even at the end, there's like this sort of uneasy teaser as he got away, he's gone, like in that character that you see, like he's gonna kill that dude. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, in a sense, like, well, he's just a really good villain. You know what I mean? And he gives a chilling performance. He goes on to become more of a villain in other movies, but it's this movie that kind of basically really shows off where America kind of fell in love with hating this character.
Sarah, thoughts on Hannibal Lecter and the album Hannibal Lecter?
He's actually on my honorable mentions list. So, again, we have a crossover going on. I think he makes a great villain because he's very sophisticated. Like, it's not like one of those like slash and grab kind of ones. I mean, all villains are great in their own way, but what makes him great is that he's very like smart, very intelligent and methodical in how he enacts his villainy. So
No, so yeah, so he's also on my honorable mentions. But it's what I find it's he's very eloquent, he's very well spoken. But it's his charm that I feel that is kind of that his dangerous little lure the villain and lure in his prey at, and that's kind of what I'm like. That's what's scary. It's very he's very charming. He can have you eating out of your hand, and the way Anthony Hopkins does it, is really the first time I saw that movie, I was like, I forgot how I was a kid, and I'm like, I couldn't watch it. But when he did this, that scared the hell out of me. But no, he's a great choice. No, he's that. I gotta watch that movie again. But no, yeah, he's honorable mention. So Sarah, you're number
my
4.
number 4. Yeah, so we have all these great villains. Like we've been talking about conflicted villains and the villains that, are smart. And then sometimes you just have to have your villains that are just, expendable. And there's numerous of them. So for number 4, I put down Nazis from the Indiana Jones series.
From what series?
Because the Indiana Jones Nazis. Because they just keep coming at him. And I don't care how many Harrison Ford takes out; they're just great. Like the more that he can plow through on his treasure quests, the better. So yeah, Nazis, because you have no sympathy for them. There's nothing redemptive about them, and you're just glad to watch him take them out.
CJ, thoughts?
The greatest thing about Indiana Jones and Nazis is how smug they are.
Yes!
Like, who doesn't love to see a smug Nazi get punched in the face? I mean, like, that is... I mean, come on. It's a perfect villain.
They are sexy Nazis, too. It was that one, the one in Indiana Jones.
The lady.
The Last Crusade one. The one, she goes, come, Indy, let's take it together. I'm like, I don't know what I would do if I were in his shoes because she's so pretty.
You would have died, sir. You would have died.
Me? Yeah, I would have died. I probably would have died. Yeah,
I would have sleeping with him and his dad. Like,
it's 2020. Whatever. No, no. I all right. Yeah. So who did he fight in? Oh, in the 4th, the one that didn't happen. Was it the Russians?
I don't speak about that movie. I don't know. That was not an Indiana Jones movie. That was like something out of...
That was a fanfic. We'll call that a fanfic.
Yeah.
Another film that we do not talk about.
I saw that movie once and decided I would never want to see it again. But no, I said I love the original 3 Indiana Jones.
All right.
And the Nazis that just are cannon fodder.
Yep. All right, so that's your number 4. Okay, I forgot about those ones. All right, so my number 4 is kind of an animal, kind of not. It's kind of an animal, kind of a monster. It's the raptors from Jurassic Park, the first one. Just because they are so freaking smart, they are so freaking intelligent, and the way they move, and then the little things just carried away. They surrounded that hunter, and he got him down. And then the kitchen scene in that still scares the fuck out of me. I remember I saw it when I was 7 years old in Mexico, and apparently I didn't know I did this, but my cousin said that I did this, and then I did this, and then I did this again. I don't remember doing that, but apparently I did it. But yeah, because that to this day, I still get tense. I know they get out fine, but I still get tense with the raptors. I'm like, and the 1 and 2 there, and then so they're my favorite villains. And then they come to Jurassic World, and that happens. But yeah, those are my villains for number 4.
As far as the Raptors go, like I mean, Jurassic Park is pretty much like a kid's horror movie. You know what I mean? Like, so like they're like really masters at like building suspense in that movie. You know what I mean? And it's like there are moments that are so intense. And I've told you this story, Renee, so I'll tell it on the Frack. But like when I I mean, when we were younger, like it took forever for movies to come out on video. You know what I mean, for you to own. And so I went to see Jurassic Park with my family, like as like pre-second grade, I think pre-second grade. Yeah, in like the summer, and like I see this movie in that part with the Raptors. Like I actually did shut my eyes. I did. I shut my eyes and like. When I looked, like, they were gotten away, and like I didn't know what happened, and like I asked my brother, asked my sister, asked my older brother, asked my younger sister, and they're both making fun of me because like I covered my eyes, but they saw what happened. You know what I mean? Like, it took me like I don't know how long it took to get on video. Like it seemed like a year or two. You know what I mean? Like
I think it was a
like
year.
until I actually finally saw how they got out of that. But awesome, yeah, awesome. They were really great villains though.
They kill Sam Jackson, don't they? Isn't that how he
Yes,
dies?
it is. That's right.
One of his movie deaths.
Yep.
Yeah.
He does not hold on to his butt.
No, he does not. But he has a cigarette on, though, I think. All right, CJ, what is your number 3?
Oh, that's going back open there. All right, my number 3 is a popular one. He was on this list. He was off this list. He was on this list. He was off this list. But freaking, he's on this list. He ended up on this freaking list. And that is Heath Ledger's Joker. The Joker was bound to make it on this list in some form because the Joker is one of my favorite villains, period. Like comic book villains. Might be my favorite. Maybe not. I don't know. I'll think about that later. But he's one of my favorite villains, but he's on this list because of what he does to the hero in the movie that he's in. Because he takes Batman to a place that Batman didn't feel like he should have had to go on in order to defeat him. He takes him to a place where Batman's like, I see what I have to become to defeat men like him. Like, I don't want to do this. He takes Batman to a place where he, after this movie, quit being Batman. Like, he freaking, like, he took the White Knight, like, he made Batman absorb the hate of the city so that Batman was the villain. He took the White Knight that was supposed to be their way to save Gotham and turn him evil, you know what I mean? Yep. And made Batman and Commissioner Gordon and the leaders of the city basically lie to everyone about what happened, you know what I mean? Like, Joker, in all the senses of what he was trying to do, completed his task as a villain. You know what I mean? The villain, what makes a good villain is that a villain has like a mission and they're trying to do that mission. And the hero has a mission and they're trying to do that mission. And their missions kind of stop each other. Only one can do that. You know what I mean? And this movie is a great example of that great hero and villain relationship, you know what I mean? And that's why Joker is on this list. That's why Heath Ledger's Joker is on this list from The Dark Knight, because that villain accomplishes that goal. Yeah.
Sarah, thoughts?
Yeah. Actually, I have the Joker on my honorable mentions, but the Jack Nicholson Joker from the original Batman.
89 Batman?
Tim Burton's Batman. But I think the Joker is really great because I think a lot of Batman's about like mental illness, like dealing with the actually trauma too. So I think the Joker's usually a foil for Batman, and like if Batman had gone, like if Bruce Wayne hadn't been able to put his energies into something more positive, kind of like an insane way that he could have gone. So I think the reflection really makes their like dynamic between the two of them something that's really interesting to watch. Though I like the Jack Nicholson one because he's kind of more goofy. Like there's a scene where he's on the parade flight, he pulls like a giant gun out of his pants, and there's just I like the silliness of it.
So my Joker is one of my favorite villains too. But my Joker. So in film school, I always said that I didn't like Jack Nicholson's Joker because I thought he's doing Jack Nicholson. He's just, to me, I would say Mark Hamill's my Joker until Heath Ledger. But Heath Ledger is a version of Heath Ledger. For me, Heath Ledger Joker to me is an anarchist, which is a side of of the Joker. Jack Nicholson's Joker is the Prince of Crime kind of, which is another side of the Joker, where I feel that Mark Hamill's is the anarchist, the Prince of Crime, the psychopath. Just to me, he is the one true Joker. Till now, for me, I don't know if we'll see anyone. Wasn't there another one recently? There've been two Jokers since then, since Heath Ledger Joker.
Well, there's the Joker movie.
I didn't see it. I had no interest.
It's very dark. I must say, I saw it and I found it very dark.
So it reminded me of Taxi Driver. Like it was like a Taxi Driver with the Joker on it. Have you seen Taxi Driver, Sarah?
A long time ago.
Okay, but yeah, no. So that's CJ's number 3. All right. Anything else before? Go ahead, CJ.
Oh, and on a side note, Jack Nicholson Joker is also on my honorable mention.
Mine is Cesar Romero from the Batman movie '66. No, it's not. All right, Sarah.
You're going to be one of those guys, right?
Shut up.
Alright, so my number 3?
Yeah.
So again, we're having some overlap. My number 3 is actually the xenomorph aliens from the Alien movies. I just think they're so cool. Like, the fact that they bleed acid and, like, they're just so dominant in their attacks. Like, the only way to kill them is basically to space them. So it's just such a great villain to have to fight because you have to give it your all. And they're also very terrifying because we as humans, have no natural defense against them. Like, even guns are like kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do my best. And then I also like the fact that you can become a weapon yourself by like harboring it inside you. As awful as that is, like suddenly you know your friend's gonna die because they have been not like impregnated from they're just so evil. Like you can know your death is coming.
That is so dark, Sarah. I like it. Anything else you want to add on before FTJs? Anything else about the xenomorphs you want to touch on?
Well, yeah, I would agree that they are. Oh, what was that on me or was that on her?
Yeah, it's on you. It's on you. You're talking.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, I think what makes the xenomorphs such a magnificent bad guy is they're like, okay, so like you usually see the aliens in a time where like it's sci-fi, like it's in the future where like technology is very far advanced, and they represent like the apex of like natural evolution, which is almost counter to technological evolution. You know what I mean? Like, which is like man-made, and we're like advanced, and like through like with microchips and whatever, you know what I mean? We're making everything quicker, faster, more, efficient. But they have done sort of, they're like the pinnacle of like natural evolution though. You know what I mean? Like she said, like, even though we have guns and we have all this stuff, like I just touched my face and it's the COVID season, but even though we have guns.
Have you not seen how much I've been doing this myself?
But even though we have guns and stuff, all this stuff, like she said, it's like, it's all you can do just to survive against this thing that has evolved to kill whatever it needs to, like everything. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a sort of a human-sized virus, I guess, sort of, you know what I mean? It just like spreads and kills and destroys.
But to touch on Sarah's point also about them evolving, like didn't the xenomorph adapt to whatever species it attached to? It would become that version of a version of that species.
I see. That's like from the Prometheus movies and all that stuff, and I don't really.
Is that where that's from?
That tangent.
Part 3 kind of touches on that.
Yeah.
The facehugger hugs a dog, and so like the xenomorph is like bipedal in that one or whatever. Like,
yeah.
Or not bipedal, quadrupedal.
Okay.
But see, I don't necessarily like the direction that was going in the movies.
All right, is it canon or not canon then?
Well, it's someone's canon. It's not my canon.
So Sarah's not canon. It's not Sarah's canon.
I don't like it. But again, that's me.
Hey, what's the name of the show?
Frack the Canon. Yes, exactly. I was just gonna say that, but CJ beat me to it. All right. Anything else before I go into my number 3? No. All right. So my number 3 is, everyone knows I'm a big Kevin Smith fan. Everyone knows I'm Catholic. So my favorite, my villains, I'm like, because I was just watching the movie again just for fun. I'm like, it's Bartleby and Loki from Dogma, and the fact that their mission is to go back home, which is heaven, no matter what. If they have to kill people, if they have to kill the last descendant, again, this is a movie, all right? It's a movie, people. Mom, yeah, it's the last descendant of Jesus Christ. They're like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going home. And they were relentless at that, to the point where, even if I remember correctly, Bartleby was about to kill God, right? To go back home. And I found that very, very.
You haven't thought about the consequences of your re-entry!
Consequences, schmonsequences.
Guess what? We're going home, okay? No matter whose pride it may hurt. It's not a matter of pride, stupid! Loki, kill a girl. What are you, high?
I can't kill her if she hasn't done anything. You know that.
Fine, I'll kill her myself. Fuck.
Not inspirational, but very interesting. It kind of reminded it to me. It was akin to a metaphor or analog for people's faith, of like what they would do to pursue and push their agenda and faith. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but to me, that was a very, very, very interesting execution. And the fact that there was 2 fallen angels who got kicked out of heaven for giving God the finger for getting too drunk was very funny to me. And I'm like, and then it just, yeah, those are my number 3 villains: Bartleby and Loki from Dogma. Right. CJ, anything?
Yeah, as you know, that's been one of my favorite movies for a long time. Dogma. I love that movie, and I do like those villains in it. I like the fact that, like, I grew up in a Christian household and like went to a Christian school or whatever, and I like the fact that the story is all, because Kevin Smith writes comic books. The story is almost like a comic book writer's, like, sort of like, he takes like a retcon approach to like the Bible.
Yeah.
It takes like little pieces out of the Bible, and it just kind of like, oh, it'd be interesting if we put this in a comic book story. Like the idea of like God is infallible, right? Like, God can't be proven wrong. God can't be wrong is like a thing that's in the Bible. Right. It's just kind of like, when it's said there, it's just like, oh, God's never wrong. Right. But he has this he turns that into a loophole in the movie, basically, like, if you prove God wrong, then the universe is over, kind of a thing. And like, I love that. It's hilarious. You know what I mean? Like,
it is. I can't. That's why you are the Mark Bernardin right now to my Kevin Smith in this podcast. Sarah, thoughts? Have you seen Dogma, Sarah? Have you?
I saw it once, maybe like 15 years ago, so I don't really have a point of reference on it right now.
No, no, it's okay. Go ahead. All right, so
that's the one with the smiling Jesus, right? Like,
yes.
Yeah,
Buddy
so
Christ.
That's what I remember about the movie. So unfortunately, I don't really remember the bad guys in it.
No, so I mean, I was like, I was really super Catholic. So to me, and it's very to me, it spoke to a lot of my questions, a lot of my doubts in faith, and it didn't answer them, but it kind of like, all right, it addressed them a little bit. But I'm not the person that has these doubts, has these issues. But yeah, it's I would recommend it. I mean, it's funny. But it's a fun adventure. God, I'm getting fat. Alrighty.